I just wanted to make a quick video here regarding Final Fantasy while it's still fresh in my mind. My name is Tasty Mond. Been playing games since as long as I can remember. One of my favourite series once upon a time was Final Fantasy. And yes, you could actually say I was like a Final Fantasy VII baby kind of thing. But I've been trying my best over the years to actually start enjoying Final Fantasy again. And I feel like I've hit a brick wall. You know? I haven't enjoyed a Final Fantasy since Final Fantasy 13-2. Now, I'll save you the trouble. I know that game is diversive for a lot of people. I really enjoyed it. I kind of liked the semi-open world that they went with for 13-2. And, you know, the little, like the Pokemon feel of the game, trying to catch all the creatures. And I really enjoyed it. I liked the characters of 13-2. Never really enjoyed 13 though. So it's weird how that all works out. But yeah, that was truly the last Final Fantasy that I enjoyed. And over the years, I've actually been trying my best to get back into the series. And it started with like 15 again. I didn't enjoy 15. I said, okay, whatever. Maybe it's not going to be that big a deal. Move on to the next one and see how it goes. Well, I moved on to the next one, which was Final Fantasy VII Remake, I believe, Part 1. Spoiler, I didn't really enjoy that game that much, to be brutally honest. It's been a couple of years since that game's came out now. 7 is one of my favourite games that I ever played, and I'm not upset that they do like the remakes different. I just want to point that out right now. It's nothing to do with the fact that they do the games like different from the original. If anything, I'm all for that. When they change the games up, I feel like I'm playing a new game. I always kind of wish that we got a game for Advent Children rather than watching, you know, like a CGI and stuff. But I just wanted to say that I didn't enjoy Final Fantasy Remake Part 1. One of the reasons I didn't enjoy it is because I'm not a big fan of the more interactive movie that they've got going on with a lot of games these days. I like a good balance of gameplay plus cutscenes, and I genuinely have to say that I feel like Square Enix's Final Fantasy games these days are going down a road that's not for me. But I kind of like wiped it off and I said, okay, I'm going to buy Final Fantasy 16. If I don't like it, I'm not getting the next one after that. That was basically like my idea of it. Along came Final Fantasy 16. I actually cancelled my pre-order because I wasn't feeling too excited about it. And then the demo comes out, and then a bunch of people are going crazy talking about how good this game is, how amazing it is, how it made them pre-order the game, and how excited they all are just to play it. I'm like, holy shit, maybe I made a mistake cancelling my pre-order. Well, I ordered it again. And then all these reviews are coming out, 9 out of 10s. Now trust me, I've been around the block for a minute. I'm a 35-year-old man. I've been playing games since, like I said, I can't even remember when. Possibly 3 years old or some shit. So like, I think we're past the days where like reviews, if you've been around, like you can't really trust reviews anymore. It's just another person's opinion. A lot of them are swayed by, you know, if games don't get reviewed in a nice way, they might not get to review games anymore. Anyway, it's beside the point. But I just want to give my 2 cents on like Final Fantasy 16 as well. It's the same again, you know. I'm basically making this video as proof for myself that I feel like I'm done with this series. And it takes a lot of balls to admit when you are like done with a series. Do you know what I mean? To just stop buying the games. It's happened with some games over the years with me. Sonic's, you know, stuff like that. I don't really buy a lot of Sonic games anymore because a long time ago I put my foot down, said they weren't for me. And I have to admit this with myself for Final Fantasy now, that it's just not for me. I played 16 and it was exactly like how I thought it was. Like 10 minutes in, I knew I wasn't going to like the game even. You know, it was one of those I knew the game was going to be linear. They admitted right off the bat that the game was going to be linear. But the problem is, with the way that the storytelling is done in games like Final Fantasy 16, 7 Remake and stuff, is that like there really isn't a point to even be playing it, it feels like sometimes, because you literally just walk forward into a 20-minute cutscene, then walk forward into another 20-minute cutscene, maybe kill a group of enemies into another 15-minute cutscene. The pacing's terrible as far as I'm concerned. I lasted 7 hours with Final Fantasy 16, and that was it, you know. Nobody's more upset than me, and I just wanted to say that I'm just not a fan of the way they go about the games anymore. It's not necessarily just a Final Fantasy thing. It's like the overall approach to watching an interactive movie where I genuinely feel like I shouldn't even really be playing it. I didn't really find the combat all that interesting. Now, I was only several hours in, but I'm like, you know, if you're several hours in and you're not enjoying a game, you got to call it quits. You know, some games need to push forward even more, though. It's true. But sometimes I think you just got to, like, if you've been going on that long and you're still struggling, cut it short, you know? That's what I've had to do with myself with 16. Now, for all the people that are sitting there typing stuff like maybe buy, who cares, who needs you, it's no, I'm not doing it to start a problem. I'm mostly just making this little video to be like, I hope I'm not the only person that kind of feels like this nowadays, or it's not just because I think it might be like a more old school mentality that I might have towards games like this. Games have got to move on, and maybe some games feel like this is the way they got to do it. And I'm just not a fan of the way that Final Fantasy is going about it. Not just Final Fantasy that's the ones doing this with games these days. Now, I'm just saying this right now, I cannot buy Final Fantasy Remake Part 2, 7 Remake Part 2. I genuinely feel like I won't enjoy the game that much because it'll be probably pretty similar to the first part. And even then, even 16 has no done it for me because I didn't find the combat all that good. And even I was genuinely bored listening to the story that I'd seen for the past 7 hours. It's tough to admit, but this is basically like a little goodbye to Final Fantasy, I think, from myself. It sucks, but I'm putting this video up just to make sure that I don't buy Remake Part 2. I'm putting my foot down, goddammit. But I truly just want to say, if there's any Final Fantasy people out there who are loving the games, don't look at this video as a negativity. Just look at it like me saying, I wish you guys the best, and that you truly do enjoy what this series is about now. Truly. Tasty Mond out. Catch yous later.